Greetings, brothers and sisters. Well, we are here again. Today we're going to be looking at another study. Now, this is going to be a reaction to our friend down there called Sam Shamoun. So, Sam Shamoun is schooling Seventh-day Adventists, according to him. And we are going to take our time to look at this little mini debate. And we're going to go through it and see who is schooling who. All right? Without further ado, brothers and sisters, let's go and jump right down into it. But before we do that, please like, subscribe, share, stop, breathe, hit the button, share the video, and then like. Please like the videos, because like is really the way that we get these things to go out to more people, right? With that said, brothers and sisters, let's go and jump right down into it. This is going to be a mini debate in between Nathan Warama. How do you spell and pronounce that? Rawawa. Strange name. And I mean, you got Sam here. This guy got so many names. You got a name for every occasion, look like. So let's go and jump right down into it. So Nathan is going to be the Seventh-day Adventist, and Sam, he's something. Anyways, let's jump right down into it.
Yeah, so you commented on my short clip on the Sabbath and offered what you think was a response, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So although there's a bit more backstory to it, is your recommended video, the one on the what was it?
Yeah. Can we get to the point, Nathan, please?
Anyway, your video about how to deal with others in a Bible study.
Yeah. Okay. That's probably ago. I don't remember that.
Right. It was impactful, and I shared it with others. And
sad. I'm sorry.
So I had a lot of respect for you. Based on
right there, we're going. I don't know why we do this, trying to be nice to these people. I mean, we should always be respectful, but we should call a spade a spade. I don't play with this thing. This is serious stuff, brothers and sisters. Any Seventh-day Adventist that's listening to me, this is serious. When you are going out there standing in God's stead, don't play with these people. We have to be respectful, because God demands that of us. But we're not supposed to lighten the load for these people. Give them an olive branch. Say, yeah, I really respect. What are you respecting him? We don't respect these people. Because to respect him means to respect what he stands for. We don't respect that. We are trying to help these people. We're trying to be their friend, because they are not our friend. They stand with their God and we stand with ours, and our God is not their God. And this is where most Seventh-day Adventists get confused. We go on this person's channel and we start to pile the praise on. I'm going to praise you so that you can be nice. We ain't supposed to be nice to anyone, and they ain't supposed to be nice to us either, because we don't stand for the same thing. Now, we can be respectful and we can be as nice as we can be, but we're not supposed to be there bowing down and praising these people. Praising them for what? For the error that they're teaching? We don't do that.
Based off of that.
So that okay. You don't need to respect me. Just what's your position? What do you believe about the Sabbath?
What I believe about the Sabbath?
What is you? Are you a Seventh-day Adventist? What are you?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, all right, that's good. You follow the false prophetess Ellen G. White, but we're going to talk about the Sabbath now. When I mentioned,
actually, before that, based off of that previous video, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and treat you.
It's okay. Don't worry about treating me. You're not my brother. I'm not your brother. What did I say? We're not here to talk about.
There you go. See, he knows. You're not my brother, and I'm not your brother. You see, for us to be brother, we have to have the same family. We have to have the same parents. our God, our Father, is not the same Father. Even Christ told us that, right? You are of your father, the devil. So the devil is a father, and we have a father. Now, here what we are supposed to do is point out who is who. Which father is God? That's what we're supposed to be doing. But the brother, he kind of dropped the ball there. But I understand when you're in these situations, all kind of things is on your mind. All kind of stuff is going through their head. And he's trying to be nice. Okay, I'm coming in peace. There is no peace. Christ did not come in peace. There is no peace, brothers and sisters. Christ did not come in peace. Christ said, I came to put fathers against their parents, against their children, children against their parents. This is what Christ came. He came to make a clear divide. And we tend to think that, no, we can do something else. No, brothers and sisters. We're supposed to make it clear that we don't get here on any one of these people's channel and start to praise them. Do not give the pearls to the swine. They don't know what to do with it. Don't give the pearls to the swine. He's going to trample them on the feet. He doesn't see anything. Well, I guess he's learning.
Get to the meat of the matter. I already told you in Skype, no sermons. I don't care what you think about me. So let's get to the point, because you didn't understand my point. Because when I said the Sabbath assigned to Israel, you made the foolish mistake of going to Genesis 2 to prove your point. So now I'm going to ask you to articulate what my point was about God's Sabbath and Israel's Sabbath. What was my point? Did you understand? Let's see if you did.
Okay, so the main contention I had was regarding
attention, Nathan. So you're not listening. Yeah. Let's try this one more time. I'm going to repeat myself slowly because I want to be patient. I don't want you to run. I didn't ask your contention. Did you hear what repeat the question I just asked you? Let's see if you understood. Even my question. What was my question right now?
Can you explain to me the point I was trying to make?
Okay, so what was my point when I talked about Genesis 2, the Sabbath of God, and distinction from the Sabbath assigned to Israel? What was the point? I want to see if you got the point.
That the seventh day didn't end.
Yes. What did I base it on?
You based it off of the seventh day, not mentioning any kind of end in Genesis
Hebrews chapter 4. Hebrews chapter 4, verses 1 to 11. Right. Recite Genesis 2, verses 1 to 3 to show that today, when you believe, you enter God's rest. That was Hebrews 4, verses 1 to 11. So now, what was your objection to my point?
This is one of the things that I've always noticed as well. This guy, Sham, I really have to give it to him. This isn't praising him or anything, but I can recognize that the guy, he's very learned. That's a word. He knows a lot of scripture. He doesn't know what it's saying, but he can memorize a whole lot of scripture from the Bible and the Quran and whatever else he's reading. But what good is it for you to memorize the entire Bible? So the entire thing, you know the entire, from cover to cover, and don't know what it says. Just memorize the words and then repeat the words. I can repeat this. And he's putting all kinds of text out there, right? Bible words, yeah, from 1 to 11. What does that say? And it says this. First thing the brother should do was just take his time and read the text. I mean, he was coming on here, so you do your homework, you read the text, and he was actually given whatever video that he saw. You come prepared. The problem that we have, brothers and sisters, is we like them. We are Trinitarians. We can't do no better than what we can do, than what we're doing. That's the bottom line. We serve their God, and their God makes the shot, not us. And by connection, they make the shot because it is their God. We are only added on to that. We want to be like them. We want them to. Why would we want them to accept us? We can't accept them. How can they why would we want them to accept us if we cannot accept them? So, well, what you saying? You can't accept. I say exactly that. We cannot accept them. We do not stand for what they stand for. Plain English, brother. We cannot stand for what they stand for. Let me rephrase that. We should not stand for what they stand for. I have to rephrase that because we definitely stand for what they stand for. Actually, we have made it our own. Can't make this up. Have mercy. Okay, let's continue.
Let's see what the objection, because I didn't read your lengthy rant, because I don't read lengthy rants in comment section.
I understand. That's fine.
So I want to
Okay,
know what's your point.
so one was the contention was that there was not only not a mention of an ending.
I just want to stop here again. As you look at this, you see how painful this is. I mean, any Seventh-day Adventist that look at this, man, that didn't go good. That did not go good. But you'll see, brothers and sisters, if you can just realize that if Nathan was not a Trinitarian, he would have something to stand on. If he wasn't a Trinitarian, that any Seventh-day Adventist that is a Trinitarian go on any one of these channels, we cannot stand against them. We are all confused. We're worse than them. Because at least they don't know that they are confused. But we can see something is wrong here. That's why we get so confused and muddled up in what we're saying and what we're trying to portray. It almost gets to the point that we are agreeing with them. But you just pay attention. Pay attention. And you see how this is going to go.
On the seventh day, there's also no mention of a beginning.
No, there was no mention of ending. There is a mention of beginning in Genesis 2, verses 1 to 3. Genesis 2, verses 1 to 3, it says, the Sabbath began, but unlike the other days where it says evening and morning, day one, it does not use the formula evening and morning in Hebrews.
Okay, I want you to listen to what he just said, because he's going to trap good old Nathan in a little bit. The Sabbath be gone. Just pay attention to how he is going to twist the scripture. Listen to what he said, the Sabbath begun. I mean, Nathan he's unaware of what's coming. But he's building, this guy has been debating for a long time. He's building his case because he knows what Nathan is going to do. There's no surprise here. See, Nathan is trying to be them. And he knows it. So he's just building his case. He's saying things, and then Nathan isn't paying attention. He isn't paying attention to what's actually transpiring here. But you wait a little bit.
4 tells us that
not according to what I read here.
Okay, one more time. You just cut me off, Nathan. You're not going to get far. Repeat my point. Let's see. Well, let's see if you're listening to what I just said. What did I?
And he liked to do this thing about read this text. Man. Number one, you do not let these people tell you what to do. Number one. I mean, no man would let another man tell him what to do. Read this. I said, no, you read that yourself. How about that? No, you know it, right? You don't even need to read it. Just say it. No, I want you to read it. I can read. If you say something wrong, then I'll read it. If you say something wrong and I do not agree, then I look at the text myself. I'm going to read text for you. You can't read for yourself. But he's used to this, see? He's used to people counting down to him. He's used to that. And he actually demands it. Oh, can I tell you? You really have to stop and think about these things sometimes. Have mercy. Hey, let this guy tell you, go to this text, go to the next text. And he just sending you the text and text and text. You're getting yourself confused. You can't even think because he's putting too much stuff out there. You want to hear that you read that text for yourself. You tell me what it says. How about that? That way I can think about what I'm going to say. You can't think about what you're gonna say reading text for this person. This guy's a debater. This guy's he knows what he's doing. I ain't taking anything from him. He knows what he's doing. He has been doing this thing a long time. And the guy knows a lot of Bible texts. And he always getting, hey, read this. What does it say? What does that? I say, what does it say? Yeah, read it. No, you read it. You tell me what it says.
Just say.
Well, you just said in Genesis 2,
Yes.
1 to 2, it said in the beginning of the Sabbath, but I don't read anything about that in my version there.
The Sabbath because he rested from his work. Resting from his work means he stopped working, and therefore that's when the Sabbath began. Do I have to break that down to you from read?
Oh my goodness. You can't make this up. Let me see if I can just grasp what he's saying. I'm pretty sure this is what he just said. You let me know if I'm wrong. He is saying that the Sabbath, let me just go back. I didn't want to put things in his mouth, but I'm pretty sure make sure I'm right. Let's go back just a little bit.
Resting from his work means he stopped working, and therefore that's when the Sabbath began. Do I have to?
All right, this is what he's saying. That's what I thought he said. He is saying that the Sabbath is Sunday. That's what he's saying. He is saying that the rest came after Sabbath. That is what he just said. That's exactly, he just said, God rested after the Sabbath. And he can't say that after the Sabbath ended because he don't believe that either. But it's going to get a whole lot better. All you have to do, let them speak. You see, the problem here is that our good friend Nathan, he is paying too much attention to what he is saying and waiting for the text that he's going to have to read. That's the problem. You have to be calm, collected, and you have to stop and listen to what people are saying, and you have to figure out where they are trying to go. That's really, and listen to what he's saying, and then show him what you just. Did you just say this? Did you just say that God rested after the Sabbath or during the 24 hours of the Sabbath? When did he rest? Because he's saying he stopped. He obviously, if you're working and then you rested, you're not working. That's what I would think. If you're resting, you're not working. What Nathan should can you please define rest and work for me? That's what I would ask. Can you please just get those definitions just so you can get his mindset of what he is trying to do? All of that would kind of sway him from where he's trying to go. Because when he have to answer these, let me think how I'm going to define this. Because if I define it one way and all of a sudden I go a different way, it's not going to look good. This guy is a professional debater. He's a professional debater. He's building his case and he's putting things that Nathan ain't paying attention.
To break that down to you from read Genesis 2 verses 1 to 3. Read it.
In King James Version, it says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. Mm-hmm. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made."
What day did he end it?
On the seventh day, God had ended his work which he had made. No.
Keep finishing.
And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made.
So when did he begin resting?
Here it comes. Begin resting. Now the Bible said that he rested on the seventh day. He rested on the seventh day. Now he's gonna. When did he begin resting? Listen to where he's going to try to go with this.
When did he begin resting? On the seventh day.
So why did you just lie and say that it doesn't say that? You just admit it did.
See what I tell you? There you go. There you go. Now you say, no, you're lying. That's not what you said before. Look at Nathan. He's all confused. What? Oh, yeah, you said that before. Nathan didn't pay attention. Nathan didn't pay attention.
I'm
You
sorry,
just
I don't get what you're
okay,
arguing.
let me repeat what you said.
You're asking a
Stop
question
stuttering.
about inference rather than what it's actually
No,
saying.
stop stuttering. You just said, just like it says there's no ending, there is no beginning. But you just
He said, just like how it says that there is no ending. Where does the Bible say there's no ending? Because there's no ending, there's no beginning. He's trying to say that that is what Nathan says.
just admit from your reading, when I asked you, when did he rest from his work? When did he rest?
On
He
the
rested
seventh
on
day.
the seventh day.
Uh-huh.
So when did his day of rest begin?
There you go. When did it begin? Now, he just told you that he rested on the seventh day. When did it begin? It began the seventh day. That's when it began. It began the seventh day. How many hours does that day have? 24 hours. But listen to how he's going to try to muddy the waters there. Because Nathan's already on edge. Because I didn't agree to that. What are you talking about? He said, yeah, you definitely agreed to that. Now, Satan is feeling unsure of what exactly is happening here. What do you mean?
His day of rest began on the seventh day.
So you just confirmed it did have a beginning. Now show me where it ends.
By the other verses.
Show me where it ends. Let me do something here. And see if we can figure it out. Okay. I hope you guys appreciate this. Taking time to make a graph for you guys. All right, let's look at what our friend Sam is trying to say. This is the 7 days of creation. Well, you see there's 8 days here. You understand why the 8th day is there in the second. So you have the first day. This is how Sam is looking at this. But tell me, how do you think Sam is reading this? See, the Bible was written the way it was written for a reason, so that people do not be confused like how Sam is confused. Sam is saying that this is the first day, and then they don't explain any of this. He ain't going to explain the first day. Like, when did the first day start and when did it end? When did it end? Now, let's go ahead and look at Genesis. You'll see where I'm going with this in just a minute. All right, see, people like Sam, you have to really take them by the hand and just walk them down the aisle. Because they easy for them to get lost in a one-bedroom room. they can't stay focused. Seeing too many things, see, that's not there. But check this out, brothers and sisters. Let's read it from verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was void and without form, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light. When did God say, let there be light? Now just stop, breathe, and just look at the first day. Remember that the night came before the day. Somehow they do not understand that either. But let's read the text. Darkness says, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth, and the earth was void and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Was there night before light? So the night came first, and then the day. Hopefully that's understandable. And God saw the light that it was good. So the light came right around this point here. Oops, what am I doing there? So you have the darkness, and then you have the light. Is there any way for me to write with this thing? Let's see if we can do that, figure that out. Oh, I'm getting good at this. All right. So you have the night, which would be here, and then you have the light. This would be the day. Let's bring that back up here so we can see that for ourselves. Awesome. Awesome. So over here we have where we are in verse 3. First there was night. You find that in verse 2. And then there was day, which is light, the sun. No, but it wasn't the sun because the sun didn't exist. We just had light. So you had the night and then the day. When did God do all of this? When did he do that? It's obviously that he didn't do anything. Well, he created the earth and the heavens and the earth in the night part. It was dark when he did that. Then came 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock, or however you want to say, 6 o'clock in the morning. God created light. And the light lasts for 12 hours. 12 and 12 is 24. Then he said, just so you can see how clear this is and how confused Sam and all of those jokers are. Just so you can see how clear this is. You have the night and then you have the day. And then here in verse 5, and God called the day, the light day, and the darkness he called night. So you see there's darkness and there's day. What is the order? It is night first and then it's day. That's the order. And the evening, which is night, and the morning, which is day, was the first day. When was it the first day? Was it at the beginning and in the night, or at the end when the day ended? In other words, when night came. Obviously, it was after sun set, after their light went. That's when the evening and the morning was the first day. So in other words, let's get back here. How do we get rid of this? All right. So we just put the 8th day because this will come into play in just, and this is what Sam is trying to get to. See, you can't make this up. Brand says these people are just, have mercy. Have mercy. So in other words, this is what a day is. A day starts in the night and it ends when night begins again. That's when the day. So the first day is all of this time. That's what the first day is. The second day, get my little razor. The second day is all of this 24 hours. The third day is the entire 20 hours is not the first day. This is where they get confused, see, because they like to make these imaginary days up. You have a 12-hour day. Say, what's wrong with you? Oh yeah, the Bible talks about a 12-hour day. It is talking about the light part of the day. It's not talking about the night part of the day. The night also is the day, and the light also is the day. But there's two separate parts of the day. You can't make this up, Branson. These people are, they're just loony. I don't know how much more to say. So you have this, so we can put this back into perspective. You have the day, night, and then the end of the day, that was the first day. The end of the day was the first day. To put this better, so that we can understand this a little bit better, let's go ahead and let's do this. This is what the Bible speaks about. Not this. Because this is confusing to them, see? Even though this is right, this is confused. They look at the first day and they're thinking about, okay, 12 days can be the first day. 20 hours can be the first day. All that, that's the first day. No, it's not. You see, the Bible, these people, like, they didn't go to school. When you went to school, we were shown numbers. We were shown literal numbers, and we were shown ordinal numbers. The Bible in Genesis is speaking about ordinal number. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. It's ordinal numbers. When did you ever see what is 0.8? Is that the first? Is that first? 0.8, is that first? No, it is 0. In ordinal number, 0.8 is 0. It's not first. It's not almost first. It is 0. When you have 1 day, 24 hours, that is first. That's what first is. If you have 1.8, what number is 1.8 in ordinal numbers? 1.8 is first. That's what it is. Because ordinal numbers only is counting. Let me get back here to my little pens. I should have done this a long time ago. So ordinal numbers is only counting this. From here to here. It only counts what you have. If you do not have 2, you do not have second. So this here is first. It is counting this block here. If you were to say, okay, how about this? What is this? This is also first. Oh, really? And how about this? What is this? This is also first. This is second. That's what second is, brothers and sisters. This is where they get all confused. Like they can't, they don't know up from down. They say, oh, well, if you get part of the first day, that's the first day. No, part of the first day is not the first day. Part of the first day is part of the first day. It's not the first day. Then they want to go into these hypotheses, but if we go to work and that we just get there, we'll say this is our first day on the job. Really? You can say whatever you want. How about you leave since you already worked the first day? And then come so they can pay you. Yeah, they'll let you know if that was your first day. Yeah, they'll let you know. If you can't figure that out, they'll figure it out for you. You go to get your paycheck. Just come show up at work and just walk around. Well, this is my first day at my job. I can go home. You understand very clearly what first is a full of something. In other words, if you are at your job is 8 hours usually, 8-hour shift. I mean, this is my first day. You didn't work the entire 24 hours. You work one shift. That's what you are getting paid for. One. First. If you work 2 days, you are getting paid for 2 shifts. Did you work 48 hours? No. You work 2 shifts. And that is your pay. That's why people can say, oh, this is my first day at the job. They ain't working 24 hours, but they are working that one shift. They ain't going to work 5 hours and then expect to be paid for the first day. They ain't going to get all that money. But you see, these are the type of things they like to confuse themselves with. But the Bible isn't confused with this. So let's just look at this again. Let's just bring this over to the side there. So you have the darkness and you have the day. And God is saying, when the day finished, that was the first day. When was the first day? Was it here, here, or was it exactly here? This is where the first day was. And this is where the second day was. And this is where the third day was. And this will continue to be third all here because it's not taking this into consideration because it doesn't have this day. It is speaking third because it only have 3 days. This is why all of this here will be considered third. Soon as you hit this mark, you are on the 4th day. That's how the Bible shows it. 4th, 5th, 6th. Now let's go ahead and check this out so we can jump all these other days. Just to show you how confused Sam is. Okay, let's go ahead and pull that back up here. Let's get down to the good part. Get down to where Sam is all confused. Oops. A bit too far. Oh. What am I talking about? Let's go up a little bit. And God saw everything. It says that God saw everything that he had made. And behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning was the 6th day. So here now, we're getting down to the 6th day. Let's bring this over here just a little bit. We're just about here, right? Can you see my mouse? I don't see my mouse. Okay. So this would be the 6th day. Exactly here. Sam is getting all confused because Sam is thinking that the 6th day is here. See, they can run this nonsense when they get up here, but they can't do it down here. See? And if they can't do it here, then they can't do it here either. Because you ask, okay, well, you mean when God began, that was when he called it the first day? No. The first day would have to be here. See, they'll clearly tell you that. Yeah, the first day has to be there. But when they get further down is when they get interesting. See? When they get down, let's get back here. Yeah. When they get down here, this is when they say, okay, we can mess around with it now and confuse this that we don't know when the 6th day is. They know that the first day is here, but the 6th day, well, we think that's over here. This is what we call the 6th day. This is why he's telling Nathan, see? He's trying to point Nathan, and Nathan's already confused. I can see the brother, he's already, he's second guessing himself at this point. Because Sam is throwing all kind of nonsense out there and he just can't keep up. And the reason why is because all of this we also reject. Oh yeah, brethren says we reject this. So we 7-day Adventists. We know how the day is gone. Oh really? When you see we get down to the crucifixion week, we throw all of this out. All this we throw out. Yeah, we believe this thing when it's convenient. Yeah, when we're talking about Sabbath, we understand this clearly. Go down to the crucifixion week, and then you try to do this. Wait a minute, that they get all, exactly what Sam is trying to do here with the Sabbath, they do down there. Exactly what Sam is doing here, Seventh-day Adventists do with the crucifixion week. Take my word for it. You go and look it up. Look it up. So, with that said, if this is the 6th day, it has to end, right? Just like how the first day had to end for it to be the first day, the second day had to end for it to be the second day. The third day had to end for it to be the third, and so on and so forth. The sixth day had to end for it to be the sixth day. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Now let's go down here to what we're talking about. And let's see if the Bible does explain this. Because Sam is saying that the Sabbath never ended. The Sabbath never ended. But then he's saying that it did. Because God rested at the end of the Sabbath, according to him. That's what Sam said, that God rested at the end of the Sabbath. But then the Sabbath doesn't have any end. I said, wait a minute. What do you mean end of the Sabbath? How did he rest at the end? Because he's trying to bring in the 8th day. That's what he's doing. Pay attention to what he's doing. Pay attention. The guy is slippery. Like I said, he's been doing this for a long time. But let's read from Genesis 2 in verse 1, 2, and 3. Let's see if we can figure this out. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made. When did God end his work? On the seventh day. And let's go back to our little chart. I don't like this one. Let's change this. Too small, right? The laser thing. Oh, the laser works better. Alrighty, let's get back here. Do we still see a laser? There you go. That's so beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Now the Bible says there, and on the seventh day God ended his works which he had made. He ended it on the seventh day. Now according to Sam, where is the seventh day? The seventh day is where the sixth day is. You can't make this up, brothers and sisters. This is what Sam is trying to do. You see, he can't do that on the first day. He can't do it because it wouldn't make any sense. But because we have so many days now, so we can put this, we can do, the seventh day can be anywhere we want to put it. No. The seventh day is where it has always been. Every day tell you the first, second day, third day, sixth day. How can the sixth day and the seventh day be at the same time? He didn't see any problem there. They're Trinitarian. They ain't trained to see any problem. This is perfectly in step with that abomination that they believe. Perfectly in step. Now listen to this. The seventh day, if the sixth day is here, the seventh day have to be here. Not here in line with the sixth day. The seventh day has to be ended for it to be the seventh day. You cannot have the seventh day if the seventh day has not ended. You can't have the seventh day if the seventh day. You cannot have the first apple if you only have half of it. Right? That's not the first. Say, I ate the first apple. Really? Yeah, I only ate half of it though. So what do you mean you ate the first apple? Who else ate the first apple? So you can't eat the first if you only have a piece of it. For you to eat the first apple, you have to eat all of it. I see, this is how they play with the scriptures. They're trained to do this. Sam has been doing it a long time. But it gets even more precise. See, their worst enemy, brothers and sisters, is the Bible. Their biggest problem, I've always said it, is the Bible. See, the Bible doesn't agree with nothing that they say. And they get this all confused because they want it that way. That's what that abomination. That abomination, their God is a confusion. That's all they can understand is confusion. This makes all kinds of sense, Sam. All kinds of sense. But let's look at it. And on the seventh day, for it to be on, it has to be on top, right? On the seventh. And if it's on top, it means all of it. It's the entire 7 day. Just like the first day, second day. If on that day, it's the entire day. It's the whole 24 hours. And it has to be ended for it to be on the seventh day. Right? The seventh day has to be ended. Has to be the last 24 hours. That last second, that is the seventh day. Now listen to what it's saying. The Bible says, and on the seventh day, which should be over here, all of this. This is on the seventh day. It's the entire 24 hours. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made. The entire 24 hours, God ended his work. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. Then he rested on this day, the entire 24 hours. On the day. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his works which he had created and made. See, it can't be more clear. He didn't do this with any other day. But when he got to the Sabbath, God foresaw all of this stupidity that they believe. All of it. And he didn't leave room for any excuse. None. He told you in the two ways possible. He said, on the seventh day I rested, which is the entire 24 hours. He said, we don't know what that means. All right. In those 24 hours is when I rested. In those that he rested. And rested is past tense, right? Rested is past tense. How do we explain this? Well, it's pretty simple, brothers and sisters. What God is saying here, that, let me get my little pen again. So I need to write this out. So make sure we understand. This is where God said that he rested. You say, but he rested here. He didn't rest inside here. Right? If he rested here, he didn't rest inside at this time. He rested when the 7 day ended. And this is what Psalm is saying. This is what, you can't make this up. This is what he's getting confused, putting the 7 day over here, and then he said, well, God rested on the 7 day after. He said, wait a minute, but aren't you saying that the Sabbath never ended? This is what they're all confused, Brandon. This abomination that they believe. Well, I mean, you can't expect much more. Can't expect much more. But anyways, let me try to really hammer it home. Sam is trying to add this here in. This is why he's talking about ended. When did he rest? When did he rest? When did he rest? He keep asking Nathan. When did he rest? When did he rest? And he's trying to get Nathan to say, well, he rested here at the end of the day. That's when he rested. That's what he's trying to get Nathan to say or believe, or I don't know what he's trying to do, but that's the line. Because he's trying to get to this day. See, this is Sunday. Here. This is Sunday. This is where he's trying to say, well, see, this is when he actually rested. But at the same time, he's saying that the Sabbath never ended. So this is one big confusion. One big confusion. This is what we have to deal with, brothers and sisters. This is what we have to deal with. Anyways, let's continue with what he's saying. And you'll see that this is exactly what he's trying to do. I hope you understood this. And then, yeah, this is actually good, because now you'll be able to see him in action.
as I provided for you.
No, there is no other, because Hebrews 4 says you don't know what you're talking about. Hebrews 4, verses 1 to 11.
Well, here, allow
Go
me
to
to provide
Hebrews 4.
my references.
Yeah, well, no, before you go to your references, the Bible doesn't contradict. None of your
I know it doesn't contradict.
So Nathan, go to Hebrews 4, verses 1 to 11.
Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed do enter into rest, as he said, I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and God did rest the seventh day from all his works. So, sorry, where did you want me to stop?
All the way to 11. But did you get the point he made thus far?
I get the point he made, absolutely, but I don't agree with your interpretation.
I do not care what you agree with me. I want to see how you're going to butcher this text. So when he quotes Psalm 95, 7 to 11, written long after Moses wrote Genesis 2, Psalm 95, because he's referencing Psalm 95, and he says, I swore in my wrath, they will not enter my rest. Did you see that the author of Hebrews said that same rest is what's referred to in Genesis 2? Or do you want to, because I don't think you got it.
No, well, that's my contention. I'm saying I don't
care what your contention is. What did the author of Hebrews do? Did he connect the rest of Psalm 95 with Genesis 2? I don't care your interpretation. I want to know what the text.
Yes and no. The reason.
Read it.
Okay, let's go ahead and look at Psalms 95. I would like to give one advice. Whenever you're debating these people, please read the text that they give you, because that almost 100% going to be outside of logic and reason. It's going to do violence to the text. Like I usually just listen and use the same words that they use. They go, okay, this what this said. This oh, read it. Let's go and look at that. Yeah, we don't get to rush. We don't need to rush. Let's take our time, look at it. See, but you can't do that when you are just following instructions. Hey, you go ahead. You read it. You are so preoccupied reading text that he is telling you to read that you can't even think straight. No, you let them read their own text. And then you look it up if you feel there's something wrong with it. And you should always feel there's something wrong with it. Look it up yourself. But you can let them read their text and explain that. That's all you have to do. But let's read what this said. This is what he gave, right? We just going off of his own sermon. Let's start from verse 7. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pastures, and the sheep of his hand. Today, if ye hear his voice, harden not your heart. When? Today. When was this? When was this written? When was this written? This was written in David's time. This is Psalms, right? Was David keeping Sunday, or was he keeping Sabbath? I'm just curious. What do you think? What do you think that is? Now let's read this again. Read 7 again. Let's see what David is doing. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pastures, and the sheep of his hand. Today, if ye will hear his voice. Did David hear his voice? I'm just curious. Harden not your heart, as in the provocation, as in the day of temptation in the wilderness. There was a temptation that happened. Who was being tempted? Who was being tempted in the wilderness? It was the people, right? They were tempted to sin in the wilderness. When your fathers tempted me, oh. So God was being tempted. Interesting stuff, right? And that's what this is what the text that he gives said. God was being tempted. when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works. Those people tempted God to discard all of them. So when God told Moses, let me kill all of these people. I'm going to make you a great nation. Where did that come from? That's what these people tempted God to do, to kill them all. Oh, yeah, that's the God that we saw, brother. You see, they like to be playing, they're playing with God, and they think that God has changed. All of them. They think that God has changed. God ain't like that no more. He ain't like that no more. They got a rude awakening coming. But my question would be this. Did David hear his voice? Did David harden his heart? Because today, if you hear it, today when David said that was today, wasn't tomorrow or yesterday, it was today. Today, if you hear his voice, harden not your heart. And the Bible said David's heart was a heart after God's own heart. So maybe David's heart wasn't hardened. Oh, okay. Then he said, these people tempted God to destroy them. 40 years long was I grieved with this generation, and said, it is a people that do error in their heart, and they have not known my ways, unto whom I swore in my wrath, that they shall not enter my rest. Did David enter his rest? Just curious. Maybe he think that David didn't enter, because the only one that enter his rest is us down here, according to good old Sam. All you have to do is read the text that they gave you, brothers and sisters. All you have to do is read the same text that he gave you. And when he said the Bible doesn't contradict itself, we 100% in agreement. Bible doesn't contradict itself. We look at Hebrews in a little bit.
Let us therefore fear lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it.
Mhm.
For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed do enter into rest, as he said, I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, though the works were finished from the foundation of the world.
For when was his works finished?
From the foundation of the world.
And so he's connecting my rest, meaning God's rest, with the works being finished from the foundation around, correct? Without interpretation.
Yes.
Okay, now
Yes.
read the rest of it, because now notice what he quotes.
For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and God did rest the seventh day from all his works.
Keep going.
And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest, seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not into it because of unbelief.
Keep reading. All the way
Again,
down.
he limiteth a certain day, saying in David, today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. For if Jesus had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day? There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God, for he that entereth into his rest, and hath also ceased from his own works, as God did from his. Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest, lest any man fall under the same example of unbelief. Actually, before there's one thing I forgot to do right at the beginning, since we're studying the word. Can we first start with prayer to ask that God would guide?
I don't accept that you have the same understanding of God that I do. So keep your prayer.
But then
I don't know where he's going. You're supposed to pray at the beginning by yourself. You need to pray with them. They definitely need to pray for you. I know he's trying to be nice and trying to say it's respectful and stuff like that. No, brothers and sisters, you do not give your pearls to the swines. You do not do that. They don't know what to do with it. So he is being, no, you would say, but why wouldn't someone want to pray? Why? Because we don't have the same God. That's why. When he prayed to his God is not our God. He had made that clear, and we should understand that, and not only understand it, but recognize that he's right. We do not serve the same God. He cannot accept our prayer just like how we cannot accept his.
Then can I ask that you
I already prayed.
start his prayer?
I already did. So now,
but with me present.
Okay, Nathan, you want me to get you out of here? Stop these games. Stick with the text.
No, this is not a game.
Nathan,
This
okay,
is non-negotiable.
text, Nathan, stop preaching, dude. I'm not.
This is not a preaching. This is
Okay,
how I
can you
lead my
go
Bible
to the
studies.
text?
If
I want to give you one more
God
chance.
is not invited into it,
Can you go to the text and explain to me what you just read? Break it down for me. I'm not your friend, dude.
That's
I'm
fine.
not your friend. We're not here to have patty cake. I want you to prove your
No.
understanding. Can you go to the text?
Will you start us off in prayer?
Okay.
He
What
just
should I do
said
with this
no.
guy? Should I get him out of here? Because you see, he's a joke. He's another joke. He follows this spiritual whore, this false prophetess, Ellen G. White. You see, he doesn't want to deal with the text. Now, I'm doing it for you guys because these guys are clowns. I don't respect them. You want me to give him another chance?
Okay, let's just look at this, because like I say, Nathan, he's doing his best. I mean, he's doing a lot better than most. At least he went on there and he tried to do something. I guess let's get a point for that. Anyways, the thing went downhill when he started reading text that he was given. That's when the style went down. No, brothers and sisters, we are not the tail. We're the head. If anyone's going to be given text, it should be us. He just came prepared. And this guy, he'd be telling you, read this, and yeah, you read that. I'm going to read some. I have something to read, and this is what I'm going to read. If you want to see what that text said, then you read that for me, and we talk about it. I'm not here to read for you. That's not how it goes. But let's just read it for ourselves, right? Because we should already know what it says and be able to explain it. Let us therefore fear. This is how that started off. Let us therefore fear. That's a promise being left us of entering into his rest. Any of you should seem to come short of it. Number one, there is a rest, and we do not want to come short of it. Right? And talking about we should be in fear lest we come short of it. In other words, don't get the rest. For unto us the gospel was preached, as well as unto them. Unto who? But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. Wait a minute. I thought faith only came in the New Testament, because we do everything by faith today, right? We did need faith in the Old Testament, according to Sam and all the rest of those jokers. But the Bible tells us that for unto us the gospel preached, as well as unto them. In other words, what was preached unto them, the same thing is preached unto us. Now they heard a gospel, but the gospel that we hear is not the gospel that they heard. You make that make sense. That's according to Sam and them. They all believe that there's a new gospel now. That's not what the Bible says. Their worst enemy is the Bible. We're going to just pick this apart bit by bit. But the word preached did not profit them. And what word was preached unto them? It was the gospel. The same gospel that is preached unto us is the same gospel that was preached unto them. Now, the gospel that is preached unto us, what is it? They don't even know what the gospel is. You ask Sam and all those jokers, what is the gospel? Yeah, Jesus love you. They come up with all kind of elaborate definition that the Bible didn't give. Was they telling those people, these people here, them, were they telling them Jesus died for you? Jesus came to give you life? Is that what they were telling them? See, this is where it gets confusing for them. Because obviously that's not what they were hearing. And what they heard is the same gospel that was preached unto us. But the problem is, the gospel that is preached unto them, I'm talking about Sam and all of them, and the gospel that Sam and all of them preached is not the gospel that was preached unto these people. And they can't figure out that that is two different gospels. They just can't figure it out. And then, these Seventh-day Adventists have a different gospel. No, we have the same gospel that was preached unto them. That's the gospel that we have. And the gospel that we preach unto them is not the gospel that these people is preaching. Is it? It's not the same gospel. It's a different gospel, brothers and sisters. And they like to quote Paul, but talking about this one God, and don't even recognize that Paul was speaking to them. They're the one that has a different gospel. Because they don't have the gospel that was preached unto those people that went into the wilderness. They definitely do got that gospel. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. So in order for you to receive the gospel, you have to believe it. And the gospel that was preached to them is not this thing that they are preaching, calling gospel. That is one thing we can clearly see. They have a different gospel. I ain't going to tell you what it is. I have a video on the channel called The Gospel. Go to watch that video. I'll explain exactly what the gospel is. What Christ said the gospel is. Yeah, Jesus actually told us what the gospel was. He told us what it was. And then tell me if they are preaching the thing that they call gospel, if that what Christ called gospel. For we which have believed do enter into rest. So now you have faith. You who believe do enter into rest. As he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. And this is where he said, okay, see what that said? The work was finished from the foundation. So you're connecting Genesis here. He said, he's talking about that rest. So really? See, the works was finished from the foundation of the world. And there was a rest there. Because God said, God rested on the seventh day. But he didn't finish. Or the seventh day didn't finish. God finished. God finished from all his work. Then my question would be, well, if God ended his work, that means that he's not working, right? That's what it means, right? You really have to stop and get definition from these people. Yeah, you have to really simple things like that. What does finish mean? When God said he finished his work, Did that mean he continued working? Is that what that means? Yeah, you get them to define it. Get them to say yes or no. And no matter how they answer that, yes or no, they're in problems. See, that's why they don't like to answer questions. They try to beat around the bush. See, when did he finish? So okay, he finished from his work. But then why is he working today? Why did Jesus say that his father work? If he has finished working, why did Jesus say that his father was working? And his father works every day. See, they all have this Christianese language. They say, what does this mean? We don't know what finish mean. We don't know what finish mean. That can mean just about anything. It means working, and then doesn't mean working too. That's what it means. So, got it. Got it. For he spake in a certain place on the seventh day on this wise, and God did rest the seventh day from all his work. And this is where he's trying to connect it to say, we see, because in Genesis, it didn't say that the evening and the morning was the seventh day. It just said the seventh day. Because you see, the way that they were taught in school, you know, what teacher was teaching these people, the way that they were taught in school when it came to ordinal, you know, this thing in kindergarten, ordinal numbers. You got first, you got second. The next thing after second is not second and a half or second and three quarters. The next number after second is third. And the next one after third is fourth, so on. Next one after sixth is seventh. And the next one after seventh is eighth. There is nothing in between. You have first until you have the second. And you do not have first and second at the same time. First is not second, is what they try to teach you. Like the sixth day is the seventh day. What? And these are the teachers. You know, it pains me so much. This guy, Sam, I mean, he's a pretty, I would say, intelligent person. I mean, I don't know the Bible the way he knows it. But the little bit I know is far more than what he knows. Because at least I can understand what I read. And he can't. But let's continue. For he spoke on a certain place on the seventh day, on this wise, and God rested the seventh day from all his works which he had, from all his works. And in this place again. What place? If they shall enter into my rest. He's repeating this again. If they shall enter into my rest. Who? Those people that tempted God. That's who he's talking about. Sam probably think he's talking about us. No, he was referring to those people. This is who Paul is referring to. He's referring to that Psalm 95. That's what he's talking about. And in this again, if they shall enter into my rest, seeing therefore. Well, what was the rest of God back then? Was it Sunday? Was it every day? That was the rest of the Lord? Back then, what was the rest of the Lord? It was Sabbath. That's what it was. Right? It was Sabbath. So we don't know what that means. Okay. How about this? Who here, let me see a show of hand, who here would say that those people that went into the wilderness was keeping the 7th-day Sabbath? Who would say that they were keeping the 7th-day Sabbath? Those 40 years that they were in the wilderness. Because remember what he's saying. He is connecting the 7th-day Sabbath with this rest that he's talking about. That according to him is today. And today is every day. No, actually today is Sunday. You can't make this up. You cannot make, but the Trinitarian, you can't expect much more out of them. So let me see if we can figure this out. Seeing therefore, it remained that some must enter therein. Some must enter therein. And they to whom it was first preached entered not in because of unbelief. Who is he talking about? You see, Sam is trying to bring this down to our... No, this isn't talking about us. This is talking about them. It's talking about them. And what was the rest of the Lord? You see, as you read this, a sensible person will be able to pick this up. The rest of the Lord was the promised land. Let's take my word. Seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not in because of unbelief. Who did not enter? And where they did not enter? Oh, it's a Sabbath. These people were keeping the Sabbath all through the wilderness, 40 years. Unless some think that for 40 years they wasn't keeping the Sabbath. Oh yeah, we just make things just worse. Since God not gonna let us go into the promised land, we ain't gonna keep the Sabbath neither. You think that's what happened? Oh goodness gracious. Have mercy. I want to read something about where did we see that? It says, seeing therefore that it remaineth that some must enter therein. Who was the some? Yes, some people that went there first actually went in, right? And the entire multitude died, including Moses out there, died outside the promised land. The promised land was the rest that it was speaking about here. Now, of course, the promised land can be a spiritually rest for us, because obviously we ain't going to the promised land. But it still has to be applied to us too. But it is not referring to the Sabbath. The rest is not referring to the Sabbath. The Sabbath is only a type that is being mentioned here. The rest, when you're talking about God's rest, the rest for the people that was in bondage was the promised land. That was their rest. It wasn't talking about the 7-day Sabbath. But you see, these are Trinitarian. You can't expect much more from them. Some and who? Joshua and Caleb. Those are the some that entered. Everybody else died. Everybody else died out there. All you have to do is read the text that they gave you. Like, we don't gotta be afraid to read the Bible. We definitely don't be letting these people tell us what to do, though. Yeah, we read that by ourselves. If you want to see what that says, then yeah, you read it and you tell me what you think it say, and then I'll tell you what it says. That's how we supposed to handle this. Anyways, again, he limited a certain day, saying in David, today, and you're referring back to David, Psalms 95 again. Today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if you will will hear his voice, harden not your heart. So, what is the promised land for us? Since we just determined that the rest is the promised land for the Jews when they were going, what is the promised land for us? It is the new Jerusalem, right? That's going to be our rest. That's what our rest is. Our rest is when we finish here all the work that we have been done. And all the work that we toil and stuff that we did is over. Then begins our rest. And that rest begins in the new Jerusalem. They can't figure this out. They cannot figure this out. They're Trinitarians. You can't expect no much more out of them. For if Jesus had given, listen to it, for if Jesus had given them rest, given who rest? Did he say, for if Jesus had given us rest? Or given them? Who is he talking about? And Jesus is Joshua, right? I don't know if this is a mistake here. But Jesus is Joshua. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about Jesus wasn't there, brothers and sisters. Jesus wasn't there. Joshua was there. For if Joshua had given them rest, then will be no then will he not afterward have spoken of another day? And this is where they get all, it amazes me. It amazed me even more how Seventh-day Adventists could read this and come to the same conclusion that people like Sam come to. If you notice, brother, he's not kicking back at any of this. He's just taking it in. That's because he believed just about the same thing. This Trinity, you have no idea how dangerous this is. And it all happened because of the Trinity. He can't see this because of the Trinity. Same reason Sam can't see it. This Trinity business, this is abomination from hell, brothers and sisters. That's what it is. But let's just read this slowly. For if Joshua had given them rest, if he had given them rest, not if he had given us rest, if he had given them rest, which means he didn't give them rest. That's what it means, right? Or am I wrong? If he had given them rest, it by implication, understanding, it means that he did not give them, because there is a if in there. If I do this, what you gonna do? If you go there, what's going to happen? If mean do not do it. It says if he had given them rest, if he had done it, which means he didn't do it. That's not difficult to understand. But you leave it to Trinitarian. The Trinitarian read that and get the exact opposite of what that just said. That means that he did give them rest. That's what that means. You can't make this up, brothers and sisters. If Joshua had given them rest, then will he not have spoken of another day? If he had given them rest, would he not have spoken? Wouldn't he not have told you something about another day if he had given them rest? But he didn't give them rest, so he didn't tell them anything. See? He didn't give them rest. That's what it's saying there. And because he didn't give them rest, this is what he said. There remains, therefore, a rest to the people of God. There remains, therefore, a rest to the people of God. The rest remains. Now, stop and think about this just for a little bit. Those people in the past did not get the rest. They did not go into the promised land. Then it says, we also need to get our rest. And where's our rest? Our rest is the New Jerusalem. And then it says here, therefore, there remain therefore a rest to the people of God. Now there remains therefore, the rest that remains, is it the New Jerusalem, the promised land, or the Sabbath? It can only be the Sabbath, because unless you think you're in heaven now. This is your heaven, boy. I hate to see hell. If this is heaven, I hate to see hell. So therefore, there remain therefore a rest, the people of God. The people of God has a rest today. Which rest is it? Because God is speaking about all of these rests. He's speaking about the seventh day. That's when he's talking about the creation. That was the 7-day rest. Then he's speaking about the promised land. That was a rest. Then he's speaking about the New Jerusalem. That's another rest. Which one of those rests do we have today? Do we have the promised land? No. Do we have the New Jerusalem? No. Which one remains? There's only one left, right? It is the Sabbath. That's the rest that remains today. It is a type of what we are going to have. Even though we don't have that yet, we do have a type of it. Every week we rest from our work, from our labor physically. But we do not rest spiritually. The Sabbath is a day of work for the people of God. We go out and we do God's work, not our own. We're going to do God's work on the Sabbath. We're not supposed to sit around sleeping or lock up in our house praying. We're supposed to get out and work for the Lord. Bring people to Christ. That's what we're supposed to do. But in heaven, we are not going to need to do any of that because all of us will know the Lord. Right? We ain't going to go out witnessing in heaven. None of that we're going to be doing, brothers and sisters. Hopefully that's understandable. For if Joshua had given them rest, then would he not have spoken of another day? There remained therefore a rest to the people of God. And that's the 7-day Sabbath. For he that is entered into his rest, he also had ceased from his own work as God did from his. Now, is this the New Jerusalem, the promised land, or is this the 7-day Sabbath? See, if they study the Bible the way that they claim that they study the Bible, this will all be clear. But they would never see it because they're Trinitarian and their God forbids it. They can't do no better than they're doing, brothers and sisters. It's a sad state, but that's it. They can't do no better. They're making miracles happen the way it is. That they can actually understand something. Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man shall fall after the same example of unbelief. Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest. What rest? It's the Sabbath. It's the Sabbath, but ultimately it's the New Jerusalem. That's where we ultimately we're going to get our rest. But what we have today is the shadow of that rest, which is the 7-day Sabbath. That's all we have. The 7-day Sabbath gives us a small glimpse of what our true rest is going to be. when all of this labor down here has ended, not continued, ended. These people are just, anyways.
Because the guy doesn't want to go to the text. He wants to find reasons to run. This is what happens when you follow a Jezebel whore, false prophetess named Ellen G. White. Okay, I'm going to give him one more chance. Now, Nathan, I'm going to give you one more chance. Change the subject. I'm going to get you the hell out of here. Go to the text, exegete it. I don't care about how you feel. We've already prayed. Name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. The God I serve, you don't accept. So get to the text, Nathan. I told you in Skype, don't play these games with me.
That's a good thing. He said, the God I serve, you don't accept. That's right.
To the text. Exegete the text.
Okay. Thank you. I heard your prayer. Amen.
Okay. Well, you can't
What?
amen. You don't believe in the sign of the cross, right? Do you do the sign of the cross?
No.
Okay. So
Did not tell you? Amen. How could you say amen to that?
then why are you amening something you don't agree
There
with?
you
This is why I
go.
didn't want to pray for you. Now, get to the text, break down what you read. I want to see if you understood what you're, because you just wasted 5 minutes of our time.
Okay. So which text do you want me to get to?
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not. Which specific one?
You're
back?
kidding me, right? We
He's
just
not kidding. You all over the place. You all over the place, man. People ain't listen to all everything that you say. You all over the place. He said, but which text? Yeah, exactly. Which text? We talking about all kind of stuff here. You need to be keeping your. See, if you had prepared and have your own text, this wouldn't happen. You wouldn't be worried what text. You read your own text. Now I have to be keeping this in my mind. The text that you giving me. No. No.
spent the last 15 minutes on Hebrews 4, verses 1 to 11, to show how the author understood the seventh day of God. And you're asking me which text? The one you just read. Can you now explain to me?
Okay. Yeah.
Explain it to me, because you denied that the Sabbath had a beginning, but then you admit it did. And I told you that God's Sabbath has no end as yet. And I said, I got that from Hebrews 4. Did you connect that in Hebrews 4, that the author is saying that God's Sabbath was still ongoing, even at the time of Psalm 95? Did you get?
No, I didn't get that. See, all of this thing, what he had asked, wait a minute. No, I didn't get that. Where did you get that? Because he gave him like 11 verses to read, and now he has to try to figure this out in his mind, whatever Sam is thinking. So, no. See, that's the reason why you don't read verses for people. Especially if you're in a debate. This guy is using you like a a reader. Yeah, read this, read that, read this. And he's just reading, and he can't even put out his own verses. You don't read text for people like this. No, you read that yourself. You tell me what it says. I'm not here to be keeping track of what you what you think. No.
Rest. Or we have to read it
Rest,
again?
not Sabbath.
He connected it with Genesis 2, where God says that he rested and he blessed the seventh day. And that's where we get the Sabbath. Do you see that in the text? It's in the text.
Yes, I see what you're talking about in the text, but rest is similar to the word Sabbath, but they're not the same word.
No, Nathan, that's not what he did. He connected it with Genesis 2, where we get Sabbath. He did, not me.
Yes, I know. I absolutely
see that. So he's telling you that's the rest that God is talking about. Reread it.
Yes, he is talking about, but the rest you find.
That's what I'm talking about right there. See, he had read so many verses that he was told to read, and he's confusing. Because he should have known that he was going to bring up this, because this, I'm guessing the video that he watched, he was quoting um, Hebrews 4. I'm pretty sure that's what it sounds like anyway. I had to read that, man. Let's sit down, you read that text, and you understand what it's saying. The thing is that we today, as Trinitarian, we we're worse than them. we are we are worse than them, because we should know better. You see, when you're just ignorant, it's one thing. Like Simon, they're just ignorant people. And you say ignorant, say, well, he know a whole lot of Bible verses. Yeah, that doesn't mean he isn't ignorant. I mean, for you to know, be able to um, remember and all these verses, all these Bible quotes and stuff like that from memory, that's impressive. With that said, it means nothing if you don't understand what you are reading or what it is that you are memorizing. It means nothing. I mean, it's actually a negative instead of a positive.
Is within the Sabbath.
So you agree with me then? My rest
Not
is
now.
the rest that started at the Sabbath, because that's what he just said.
The rest that God is talking about in its full form is found within the actual seventh-day Sabbath. Now you can still get
what Sabbath?
The seventh-day Sabbath.
Okay, whose seventh-day Sabbath? What did he quote?
God's seventh-day Sabbath, as we can read very clearly in Exodus 20.
No, you're butchering Exodus 20 because it's going to backfire against you. Just don't jump to Exodus 20. I'm going to get there.
Okay.
What day do you enter God's Sabbath according to Hebrews 4? You just read it. When do I enter God's Sabbath according to Hebrews 4?
I just want to be very specific. Enter God's rest or enter God's Sabbath?
The rest is the Sabbath. He just equated.
That's my contention. That is my contention.
Well, he caught something there. He is finally saying that, okay, rest and Sabbath is two different things. They're used differently in this passage in Hebrews 4. Is that rest is referring that there's three rests that's there. Like I explained just now, there's three rests. You have the Sabbath rest, which is about creation. You have the rest of the Jews when they're going into the promised land rest. And then you have the New Jerusalem rest. Three different rests. I mean, Nathan didn't get that part, but he was kind of catching it. But I'm guessing when you were under all of that pressure, like you're actually there in the lion's den and you're trying to debate. Like, he started off bad. He started off reading for this person. I read this, read that, and he just reading and reading it. And I've seen a lot of this guy's video, and it seems like it's a pretty normal occurrence. He's just telling everybody to read this, and people reading and reading. Like it comes like natural for people to just open the Bible and just start reading it. In a debate, you don't do that kind of thing. I'm understand if you're in a Bible study and you're there, Sam isn't there to learn anything. He isn't there to examine anything. He already did his examination, and according to him, he's right. He already did his examination. He isn't there for that. This is the debate. In a debate, you do not read other people's literature. In this case, the Bible says that other people's literature, but it's the text that he's given. And when you're doing that, when you're reading, he's thinking. And when you're not reading, he's talking. So you really don't have much to go. No, Brandon. You got to learn how to do equal time. This is debate. And it's a serious debate because these are two gods that's going head to head. That's how you have to look at it. It's the Seventh-day Adventist God and it's their God. There's two gods that's going head to head, and we are their representative. You ain't there to read his text. You're supposed to come with your own because you're there supposedly to show him something, not read off of him. You're there to show him something. So you have to come prepared. I mean, I guess Nathan wasn't that much prepared. He should have been more prepared. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think.
I'm going to send you out of here, because why did God call the seventh day the Sabbath? Because that's when he rested, because the word Shabbat can also mean to stop, to rest, right? Lexically.
Well, even before that, in your video, you're talking about
Yeah,
Sabbath
that's right.
plural and the Sabbath.
You see why I'm wasting my time with this guy? He won't deal with the text. I'm going to give you another chance. In Hebrews 4, verses 1 to 6, you read all the 11. Do you see the author equated my rest, when he quotes God, Psalm 95, where he says my rest, with Sabbath of Genesis 2? Because he says that he finished his work from the beginning, and he quotes Genesis 2 to show you that when God says my rest, it's referring to that Sabbath. That's what Hebrews 4 did, not me.
Connected, not equated.
Reread it again. I'm going to give you a final chance because we're wasting time.
Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was this gospel preached, as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed unto do enter into rest. As he said, as I've sworn in my wrath.
Wait. Pause it, because I want you to understand grammar. As he said, what? As he what? Read that.
As he said,
yeah.
As I've sworn in my wrath,
yes.
If they shall enter into my rest,
although
the works were finished from the foundation of the world.
Bam, hold on. He just equated grammatically, he just equated my rest from the rest that God entered in when he finished his works. That's the Sabbath of Genesis 2. He just did in front of you, and you keep telling me no.
If they shall enter into my rest, although the works is finished from the foundation of the world.
And then what does he quote?
I agree that
what does he quote?
His rest was, sorry?
And what does he quote right after that? Show that the rest he's talking about is the Sabbath of Genesis 2.
For he spake in a certain place of the Sabbath in this wise, and God did rest.
Did you catch it, brother? Did you catch it? I mean, grammatically, I can bring my 9-year-old to see that he just identified the rest as the Sabbath of Genesis 2. It's not simply that the rest is included with.
This is how they're so dangerous. You see, Sam is putting a whole lot of truth, but he's mixing a little error in there. And Nathan, he's just not seeing it. Like I said, Nathan had to really stop. But I don't know if he would have been able to see it either. But Nathan, the problem with Trinitarian, it's not that I'm speaking bad against Trinitarian or anything like in that type of way. What I'm saying is that if you are a Trinitarian, you cannot come to the truth. It is just about impossible for you to find the truth as a Trinitarian. You just can't do it. It is just about impossible, brothers and sisters. A Trinitarian will never be able to show you what I just showed you. You can't do it. There's something, I don't know what it is. It is something that just blinds people's eyes. But I wouldn't say it's something, a whole bunch of things. Because when you bring the Trinity in, that comes with a whole bunch of baggage. And as you start to come to the truth, you start to see the wall come up. But I can't go here because, I'm not supposed to go there. I can't go here because I can't cross that line because, I can't do that. You start somehow, some way, you start to see all these roadblocks that you just can't get across. Because in order for you to get, you have to knock that wall down, and you do not want to touch that wall. Because it is a domino effect, and people tend to see it pretty quickly. Once they touch one wall, they very, very quickly re-erect it. Very quickly they re-erect it because they see right away if this one falls, that one is going to fall too. And if that one falls, the one behind that is going to fall too. And then they can't see where it's going to end. Because there's a whole bunch of walls, brothers and sisters, a whole bunch of them. And they don't want to touch neither one. Because if they touch one, all of them are going to go. All of them.
In the Sabbath, that rest is the Sabbath of God that started Genesis 2. He just did. I didn't do it. Hebrews 4.
Where you using words
You see, and everybody's looking at this. Yeah, but Sam seems to be right there. You know, that makes a lot of sense. But Nathan, he is like, he don't want to give in. Because Nathan has not realized that there's 3 rests there. He's only seeing one because Sam is only showing him one. And Sam is only focusing on one. And Sam is really who's directing all of this conversation here right now. Nathan is he's just trying to keep his head out of the water from not going on that completely. But that's it. If Nathan was not a Trinitarian, this would have ended very differently. Very differently this would have ended. But that's not the case.
Wait and is, where I agree it connects. Absolutely.
No, it is synonymous. God's rest is a Sabbath. That's what he did. I didn't do it. He just did it for you, man. I mean,
he didn't though. That is what you're getting from it.
It's just your Sabbath today, right? Go to church, light a candle to Ellen G. White. Oh, I forget. You believe in soul sleep, so she can't hear you. You're wasting my time, buddy. So why don't you go, buddy? I'm trying to be nice to you. You're not ready for this discussion.
This is not nice.
Huh?
This isn't even kind.
But why would I need to be kind to you?
Why would you be? I mean, even an infant.
Are you sure?
This is what we're told.
No, you're not. No, Acts 13.
We're going through the list of
Acts
how
13,
you take it before.
You're preaching to me. Acts 13, 6 to 12.
Preaching to me? Well, you're doing the same thing to me.
6. Now you're talking over me. You're talking over me.
And you were talking over me.
Shut up. Get that out of here. See now? You're a dog. I'm going to call you a dog, a son of Satan.
Oh, goodness. So you see how that went, right? We should always be respectful as possible to everyone. But we're not supposed to respect them. We're not supposed to respect, and likewise, they're not supposed to respect us because we are enemies. We are enemies. Their God is our enemy. And by extension, they are our enemy. And he told him that. And we're not brothers and sisters. We're not brothers. We serve different gods. Very, very different gods. Their God is going to burn their body in hell forever and ever. Their God is going to perpetuate sin and suffering. Their God is going to make this planet, this earth, where the New Jerusalem is going to one day rest, hell. That's what their God is. No, we are not the same, and we are not brothers and sisters. We are enemies. Now, we can be respectful, Brandon, but we have to understand that we are not brothers and sisters. Those people are spiritual enemies. Spiritual enemies, brothers and sisters. We don't go out and hurt people. All we fight with our mouth. That's how we fight. We fight with our mouth and our knowledge. This is a war of ideology. This is a war of gods. That's what it is. Anyways, brothers and sisters, I guess that'll be enough for it for today. May God bless and keep you is my prayers for you. And okay, you call halala in this one. See you again on the next Sabbath. Bye-bye.